I want to tell you about Disney Handcrafted. This is a documentary that I saw in a theater that is is about the construction of Disneyland when we used to make things. And the original Disneyland is pure Americana. It's Walt Disney decided he was doing the Walt Disney show on television. This is like 1955, I believe, the mid 50s.
Before that, because that's when Disneyland opened.
Right. So 54. He documented the entire construction of Disneyland. I have never seen, a lot of the footage was never before seen. And they show this shot. Opening shot is a field. It's dirt and trees. It says there's a title that comes on 11 months before the opening of Disneyland. You see construction vehicles, they're flattening things out. They're digging holes. It's in color. All the footage is in color. They show them goofing around, the construction guys. Like one of the guys uses like a bulldozer to get an orange for a young woman there. So you see these guys with very little safety equipment. See, they're just hanging on wires. They're sitting there on a pole up high, smoking a cigarette. These are manly men and very diverse, right? They made a point of doing that. And you see this month by month, they take you through the building of Disneyland. This documentary is fantastic. I'm so grateful I got to see it in a theater. You see footage. This is a movie Disney would, the fact that they're paying such tribute, and you see like each step of the construction. They built things, they constructed things at the actual land in Anaheim, and people thought Disney was crazy. The budget spirals out of control, and it's very much fly on the wall, very much like they're just saying, well, we're doing this and we're doing that. You see Walt Disney give updates of the building of Disneyland on the TV program. They promote the opening day of Disneyland like a big deal. They were going to make it a live show. They were constructing things outside. So Disneyland is like what, 30 miles, 40 miles south of LA or so.
Is it that far? Yeah, roughly, yeah.
Roughly. And they constructed things like the Tom Sawyer riverboat, or the Mark Twain riverboat was constructed outside LA in pieces and then brought down and then reconstructed and thrown in the wall. I was, the whole movie, which is 90 minutes, I had this giant smile on my face. I've never seen this. And the fact that they didn't have a lot of, I would have actually liked to, and I'm sure there's a book about the stats of how they made it. They obviously went over budget. They were building rides and things, and Disney wanted it to be special. He wanted to make the happiest place on earth. And then they show them rehearsing for the 3 days before it opened. They were doing a live show on TV, and they're rehearsing, and there's construction vehicles, and they had an issue with the plumbing, and it's like they had to decide either working, they had to have either working drinking fountains or toilets. And Walt was like, well, we don't want them peeing in the street. We have to get the toilets. So there were no working drinking fountains, but they had like soda you could buy. And when they opened it, they did this live show on TV. Yeah. They had all these tributes. Ronald Reagan is in it. He was there at the opening. Walt Disney was there, and he read this whole like dedication, which was about the greatness of America. Like, I'm sitting here in a movie theater, and by the way, I saw this at AMC Burbank 8, which is in the mall. It was packed. I was like, why is this documentary that's probably going to be on Disney Plus at January 20th? It's on Disney Plus. Okay. But I got to see it in a theater. Why are so many people here seeing this in a theater? Seeing this on the big screen, Alan, I was blown away. Yeah. You have to. I want to hear what you think, please. Watch
Yeah,
this.
I'll watch it this weekend.
The ending with all the opening day of Disneyland. Tomorrowland had no rides. It was constructed. They had buildings where rides were going to be. Nothing was working. They showed there are only a few things actually working: the merry-go-round, the teacups. But what? Not only did they document the making of it, they documented the construction. They documented the documenting of it. A guy set up on a tower. This is how forward-thinking Walt Disney is. A guy set up on a tower a thing to do time lapse
Mhm.
that is like you see the time lapse. I love time lapse photography. It's was so fantastic. Cannot recommend this enough. I wish it wasn't only on Disney Plus. It played like in at least the one theater, which is probably why it was packed, but a great documentary. And with the best part about it, it celebrates America and Walt Disney. You know, the crown jewel of what Walt Disney built is Disneyland in Anaheim. It made me want to go to Disneyland again. And when I go to Disneyland, I tend to get caught up in like the stuff no one cares about, like the Tiki Room, or in Frontierland, you can shoot guns still, or the Hall of Presidents, or you go and watch Steamboat Willie. Famously, they didn't talk about this, but Steve Martin worked at the Magic Shop. Alan, as a Disney fan and historian, you are going to love it. Cannot recommend it enough. Get one of those, sign up for Disney Plus for free and watch this stuff.
Yeah.
However, it's really worth it.
I mean, I got to say the best thing about Disney Plus are the documentaries.
Yeah.
Even there's two that Kathleen Kennedy produced with Frank Marshall that are amazing. The Beach Boys and John Williams. The Jim Henson documentary, amazing.
Yeah.
The Avatar, how they made Way of Water, another great documentary. So look, there you go. Disney, you can do one thing right. Ironically, this came out for the 70th anniversary of Disneyland. Sounds amazing. Wish they could have done something better for the Disney Studios 100th anniversary. And all we got was Wish.
This should have been that movie, and it should have gotten a wide theatrical release, but can't recommend it enough.